Hello, I'm Carolyn Watson. Welcome to RCC Today, a public information program of Robeson Community College. Our guests today are Janice Davis and Jimmy Lewis from the Continuing Education Department at Robeson Community College. Welcome. Janice, you are director of the Small Business Center at the college. Can you give us a little bit of information about the Small Business Center and its purpose and what it does for the college?
Carolyn, 10 years ago in 1985, the Department of Community Colleges established small business centers at 6 of the community colleges throughout our state. And the reason they did this was to bring small business assistance to people on the local level. We've been working through these 10 years and now have a small business center at each of the 58 community colleges, which means that every citizen in North Carolina is within 30 minutes of help if they want to start a small business or if they have a problem with the business that they're running. I'd like to tell you that a lot of people are not sure what we mean by small business, and the SBA allows us to use a definition of any business with 100 employees or less. So we work with what I call mid-sized businesses as well as the small mom and pops throughout the state. People come in to see me and they ask about where they could get money for startup, what licenses they have to have, what legal regulations they have to go through, all sorts of startup questions. And then once the business is established, they come in and ask questions about record keeping. That's probably the biggest problem that they have.
How do you go about marketing this program that you have at Robeson Community College?
Well, we advertise our classes through the local TV stations as well as through a brochure that's printed 3 times a year and mailed out to all of our students who've been with us, and at this time that's about 4,000 people.
And you have a promotional video that you show also?
I brought that today if you'd like to show it, and it would show you something about how the small business centers operate throughout the state and the kinds of things that we do for our clients.
Let's share a portion of the video with our viewers.
Well, is it a boy or girl? Boys, look at this.
Jim, here's the workbook that we have in the store that's very, very comfortable.
Look here, we got another tire in order. Okay, you handle the accessories and I get the unit. All right.
Every day, everywhere you look, small business is on the move. And in North Carolina, small business is big business. Keeping small business on track, moving in the right direction is the Small Business Center Network, connecting small business to a world of opportunity. A small business's competitive edge is only as great as its dreams. Helping small business think big is what the Small Business Center is all about. It's a network of people, systems, advice, and technology, all coming together for the small business. 58 centers in every one of North Carolina's 58 community colleges, from the mountains to the coast, working to keep North Carolina small business up to date and on the move, around the corner and around the world.
The Small Business Center was and continues to be a part of the team here at Alternative Training Technologies.
I couldn't have done it without them. They've really helped me, and they've made me change and grow, and they've give that little extra inch to focus on to make me want to reach and go beyond the points that I ever imagined I could go.
So my husband's always had a dream about having his own business. And so when he married me, I had to join forces with his dream.
We put people's dreams into action, and I think that's one of the things that small business centers can do best for their clients.
Since 1984, the Small Business Center Network has helped developing and working small companies get that competitive edge with a statewide network of local community-based resources, low-cost seminars and workshops, confidential one-on-one professional counseling, contacts, more support, other experts, resources from libraries of reading material and instructional videos to people, equipment, and technology. Technology can be the great equalizer, giving small business big business advantages. All the centers are linked. That means small businesses are linked to each other and answers. The solution to a management training problem on the coast may be found in the mountains, all using innovative communication systems. From business planning to computer instruction, employee training to export issues, the Small Business Center means business. It's the first step to your business success, and its programs have bottom-line impact.
Jane, tell us a little bit about the number of students served by the Robeson Community College Small Business Center.
We've been growing every year since it was established about 10 years ago, and last year we served 1,831 students in various classes and seminars. And that doesn't count all of the persons who called on the phone for information or else came into the office looking for counseling.
And how many different programs do you have as a part of that center?
Last year we ran 88 programs and classes.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about the statewide network?
That's the thing that we're most proud of, is the fact that all of us are so closely networked together. I'm personal friends with each of the directors at the other schools. I know what their talents are. And for example, if someone comes in and asks me about something that I don't know anything about, and I don't pretend to know everything about small business, I pretty much know someone in the state that I can call and get direct information, either on the phone or through our email system.
In that same vein, I know you must have a lot of local partners in this effort in order to provide the information that your students need and request. Would you like to talk a little bit about some of your partners in this effort?
We partner on a regular basis with the Chamber of Commerce in various towns within Robeson County, with the Small Business Technology Development Center here at Pembroke State University, with the Visitors Bureau, the Small Business Administration, organizations like that.
And what do you find to be some of your most popular programs, those that students request and ask for again and again and again?
Most often they are looking for computer training. That's the thing that everyone is interested in now, and we offer a lot of short courses in computer training, from Introduction to PCs, working with the Lotus program, the WordPerfect program, and the D-based programs. And we run a lot of those. Just as soon as we finish one, we start another. Another popular kind of program is our programs that have to do with human behavior, the how to get along with others, how to communicate, how to motivate employees, those kinds of how-to programs. And then, as I mentioned earlier, record keeping is a very, very popular course too.
We all want to know how to do that correctly. Tell me a little bit about the average student. I know you have them on a long continuum, but who is your target market and what do you see? I know that you have small business owners and persons who wish to be small business owners, but aside from that, who else do you serve?
All right, in addition to the small business owners and managers, we do get some people from industry who come in and want to look at particularly the programs that we have on human behavior.
Before we return to your video, is there anything else you'd like to add about the Small Business Center and the services it offers to our citizens?
Well, keep in mind that basically we have three goals. The first is to do counseling with people, talk to them about their plans and their dreams and try to help them form it into a real business. Of course, we offer the classes and the seminars, and we do maintain quite a large resource library. I have books and pamphlets, videos, audio tapes, all sorts of materials which are available to be checked out for people.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's return to your video now and share that with our viewers.
Just because I know how to design a product doesn't mean I can balance the company books or do my taxes.
Well, I think most people who are going into business go into it with a great deal of enthusiasm and excitement about what they're going to do, but a lot of times they don't know that they don't know.
Well, we provide that one-stop shopping for small businesses. If someone has a problem or wants to know more about small businesses, they can come to our center and we can either help them directly or we can refer them to the resource that can.
There's a resource for someone specific that can say, well, you know, we have people here that can help you with that. Is it financial planning? We've got someone here. Is it hiring? We've got someone here. And there have been several instances that we've needed to call and I've thrown up my hands and said, help, you know, I need some help, and they've always got an answer.
We can keep these ideas focused, keep the people focused on what they want to try to accomplish, what their overall mission is, get their business plan put together, and hopefully make those exciting ideas happen for them.
Channel that creativity into the most productivity.
The mission of the Small Business Center Network is to increase the success rate of small businesses in North Carolina.
The fact that there is a small business center within a half-hour drive of anyone in this state, all 58 community colleges have a small business center, and we put through approximately 55,000 people a year through our center, either through seminars or counseling and so on. This has to have a positive impact on the economic growth of the state, and also to make small business successful in the local areas.
And all of a sudden, they're a vital part, a vital economic part of the community. And their success spills it over into the other businesses around them, whether it's a restaurant next door that their employees are going to, or someone they're buying goods from, and then that business success spills over into other businesses. Everyone wins.
Well, more and more companies are exporting. North Carolina is one of the few states in the whole nation that exports more than we import, so we have a positive trade balance with the rest of the world.
85% of the population that purchase products are outside the United States. 85% of the market is outside. Now, what does that tell you about finding the market?
If you look at the world that we operate in today, it's the small businesses, the companies that are really globally going around and having the impact.
But the first thing they need to do is to get the education on how to export. And that's where I think our community college system really pays off.
Maybe the Export Outreach Program will help some people find that market.
We offer such a variety of services to the small business owner. We do it through short-term training opportunities. We do it through one-to-one counseling. We do it through a referral service. We have a cadre of information that we can share.
There was night courses, which worked out really well for me because of working in the daytime. And I would go to the classes at night and they'd have different speakers.
Ranging from how to interpret financial statements all the way to how to dress appropriately for a business setting. And you can get training in those settings here in your local community rather than going to some far distant city and paying a lot more money.
The Small Business Center here in the county was running an ad in the paper about customer service seminars. And I was wanting to improve our customer service at the cleaners. This was 1989. And I signed up and went to one of their evening seminars and was just ecstatic.
I went to a bookkeeping class, so that helped out a lot with the bookkeeping. I had no experience, no idea what to put on the paper, what the spreadsheets or nothing looked like.
Their morale improved, customer service improved. I got the desired effect I needed.
They put us in the right direction, talked to the proper people about handling our finances, budgeting, how to handle the growth, and really just a lot of moral support.
I hold their hand, I let them cry on my shoulder. I try to provide resources for them.
Quite frankly, I think that's our strength, is being able to have a wide variety, empathize with our customer, and assist them in finding the assistance they need.
The number one thing, of course, is guidance.
Responsive,
informative,
prepaid resource. If you think about what we are, you, by your tax dollars, have already paid for our services. So it's up to you to come in and use our services, take advantage of our resources.
In other words, basic training is what I'd like to really zero in on. The people who come to my center and say, I've got a home business now, I don't really need a license, do I? So I say, have a seat, let's talk about it.
Business, big or small, is about connections. Connecting small business to resources that can help is what the Small Business Center Network does best. It's the network that works.
Talk a little bit now about the Human Resources Development Program at the college. And Jimmy Lewis, you are the director, and I think you can tell us a little bit about the history of that program.
The Human Resources Development Program has been around in the community college system now for 25 years. It was started as a pilot project by Manpower Development Corporation in Chapel Hill in 1969. The first program was started at Lenore Community College in Kinston, North Carolina in 1973. The program proved to be very successful, and permanent funding was sought at that particular point in time through the General Assembly and was granted. At that point in time, 6 more programs were started. There are now 58 programs, HRD programs, in the community colleges across the state. We were at 44 programs up until June 30th of this past year. However, the legislature appropriated the money to fund the other 14 colleges that did not have programs. The intent of the program originally was to, and still is today, was to recruit unemployed, underemployed, economically disadvantaged persons, put them through a program, HRD program, classroom training, to increase their chances, hopefully increase their chances in finding a job.
Now you say that the intent is to recruit and train these people. Can you give us some of the specific goals of the program as it relates to these persons and the jobs that you place them in? Yes. We have several objectives that we try to meet within the program as we work with students. Probably the most important with the type students that we're dealing with on the most part is to build self-esteem, self-confidence. A lot of the people that we deal with may have been out of a job for quite some time and their confidence level's down. And so we've got to build that person up to make them feel good about themselves. We use a lot of different exercises in the classroom to bring about group discussions, the group being able to interact with one another. I speak to every new class that starts, and you know, I relate to those people the fact that we've all come from different backgrounds. We've all had different experiences. We've all had different work experiences. But yet, in this classroom setting, we're going to be able to share that. I may have made a mistake at some point in my life in dealing and trying to find a job that I might be able to relay to you that would prevent you from making the same mistake. Exactly. Tell me a little bit about the various components of the Human Resources Development Program. You mentioned the classroom and recruiting a little bit. Well, recruiting, that's very important. Our classes average 4 weeks. So as soon as we start a class, we're in the process for recruiting the next class. We use several different methods to recruit. We use the newspaper, we run an ad, we use brochures. Probably the most satisfying thing to me at this point in time is the fact that we get a lot of our students now by word of mouth. A lot of our former students know what the program did for them, and they refer students to us. And of course, getting back to the curriculum, things that we cover in class with the students, we start with things as simple as how to fill out an application. You'd be surprised. And if a person cannot fill out an application correctly, they're not going to get too far. They're not going to get an interview. We assist every student in writing a resume. Every student has a professionally prepared resume when they leave the class. We set up mock interviews with the students, the do's and the don'ts of interviewings. Right. Let me ask you a little bit about the placement component. Okay. Placement is very important. HRD is not successful as a program unless our students are successful. Meaning that if the students that we work with, once they exit our program, do not find a job and go to work or enroll in some additional type of training, we don't get credit for them. So it's very important that we assist the student in looking at the employment opportunities here in Robeson County, assessing their individual needs, their individual goals, whatever that might be, to hopefully direct them into a job. Now, all of this, as we know, costs money. Yes, it does. Tell us a little bit about how this program is funded. Is it funded solely by the community college system or the state?
HRD is very unique when it comes to funding. The money, approximately $5 million this year to fund those 58 programs, is a special appropriation by the state legislature. Each program is funded in 3 different areas. The first is known as program maintenance. Every school receives the same amount of money in that area. The other 2 areas are FTE, which stands for full-time equivalency, and what we in HRD call the Earn Back Index. We have a formula. We follow each student for 12 months once they exit our class. We're collecting data on where this student has gone to work, how many hours a week they're working, what their hourly wage or weekly wage is. Also, has the student enrolled in additional training, educational training? All this translates and goes into the formula because we're looking for income increase and public assistance decrease. That is then divided by the program cost, the amount of money I spent to operate the program at Robeson Community College the past year. That gives an Earn Back Index, and that's the way we're funded. Every program does not receive the same amount of money. It depends on that program's performance.
Can you talk a little bit about assessment procedures?
Well, it's very important as we encounter students who apply to come into our program. It's very important to assess that student, to sit down, hopefully before the class starts, and talk to that student. Find out, get them to fill out an application, find out what their past work experience is. Also to look at that student's educational level at that point in time.
Right.
That's very important. In HRD, we do deal, about 1/3 of the students that we deal with each year have less than a high school diploma. We do what we can with those students to help them see the importance of furthering their education. And that's also important with finding a job, because we all know that the more education you have, the better job you're going to find.
So you refer them to the literacy
Sure.
department at Robeson Community College?
Well, in some cases, the student, they need a job at that point in time. So we're going to work with them, hopefully, to help them find a job. But yes, we do tell them about the other services in the basic education department as to the fact that they can finish their high school diploma in several different ways.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about the classroom itself. Do the regular instructors at the college teach these classes, or do you have your own instructors? How does that work?
Okay, we have our own instructor.
Oh, do you?
Getting back to the funding formula, we must pay a student, an instructor, 100% out of HRD in order to generate the FTE that we generate within our budget as far as the funding process is concerned. And the instructor, I'm glad you mentioned that, because the instructor is the pivotal point in an HRD program. Probably the most important person in any HRD program is that instructor, because that instructor has got to be able to work with each individual student on that student's level, on that student's personal level, and that can be a great task from time to time.
I think it's important that potential students know that, because I think the stigma of going to college
yes.
is there, and that's something that you probably
yes.
have to overcome. Let me ask you a little bit about your classes. You said that they start every 4 weeks.
Yes.
So you're not on the same calendar as the other college courses. Can you give us a little bit of idea as to the time it takes to complete the program?
Okay. Our classes meet, as we said, for 4 weeks. We
Right.
meet Monday through Friday from 8:30 until 2. We have gotten, a lot of HRD programs recently across the state have gotten into offering a skills component to their HRD. We run home health aid classes, which is for a person who might be interested in finding a job as a home health aid person. Those people we encourage to, once they exit our class, to go on and get a nursing assistant certification. We also run daycare classes. We run retail sales classes. So we do a lot of things in HRD.
Sounds like it. Now let me ask you this, are all your classes held on the campus itself?
Yes, all our classes are on campus.
Well, you were talking about HRD being a program in each of the 58 community colleges across our state, and brought to my mind, is this something that is done nationwide? Do our sister states also have these programs?
There are some other states, Virginia being very close to us, who in recent years became aware of the HRD program in the state of North Carolina. And they have since started, just in about the last 4 or 5 years, they have started a program which is very much like our HRD program in the state. But it's unique, and I understand that there's some other states that have looked at our program.
Back to your student population, can you tell me a little bit about how many students you serve annually and what the typical HRD student is like?
Okay. We run about 10 to 12 cycles a year, classes a year. We're dealing with around 200 to 225 people a year.
Mm-hmm.
Our classes are predominantly female. I don't know, but we have males in the class. In fact, the last class we ran, we had 3 males, and that was unusual.
Mm-hmm.
But it's predominantly female. A lot of the average age, I would say, is around 35 years old.
Oh, really?
We get a lot of people that maybe have been out of the workforce for a while, that have children or whatever,
right,
and want to re-enter. So they come to our class to get that little extra start. And of course, when any plant, like here in the county, we've had some layoffs lately. So we're getting a lot of those people that have been laid off that need a little help in finding another job.
Let me ask you one other question quickly. Do you have any type of ceremony for completers? I wondered if you do anything special.
Well, we have our own little graduation ceremony the last day. It's amazing how each class comes together.
I'm sure.
And we usually have some little snacks, whatever.
Okay. Thank you for being with us. It's been fun being together. We appreciate you joining us for RCC today. If you should need further information about the Small Business Center with Ms. Davis or the Human Resources Development Program with Mr. Lewis, please feel free to call us at the college at area code 910-738-7101. I hope you'll join us again for RCC Today.